Speaker. I rise to oppose this vile Republican plunder of working families, seniors, and veterans, all so the richest Americans can be showered with even more wealth.
Joining us to discuss is Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She represents Florida's 25th District and called this bill, quote, a vile Republican plunder of working families, seniors, and veterans.
That means that you're going to have a lot of people die. I mean, this legislation will kill people.
Ladies and gentlemen, so let me get this straight. A member of Congress buys a stock. It shoots up to 313%. Then she forgets to tell us over a year on these findings, on this amount of money. Really? Today we'll be talking about Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the latest politician caught playing financial games, and this wasn't some little paperwork error. This is a part of a bigger problem. Why are politicians even allowed to trade stocks in the first place? Let's get started. So, as you see right here, U.S. politician discloses late suspicious stock trade after spiking 300%. So this is we'll be talking about with this person here. United States Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz has violated the Stock Act after failing to disclose a stock trade in the new gold, that's NGD, on time. According to financial filings, Schultz purchased these shares on February 28, 2024, but did not report the transaction until July 1st of this year, well beyond the 45-day disclosure window required by law. Since her purchase, this is what you see right here, NDG stock has surged 313%, outperforming the broader market's 22% return on the same period. If you're trying to make a lot of money in stocks, be a congressperson. You can ask the most successful stock trader of all time, Nancy Pelosi, where she made so much money, it was ridiculous. Even though she spent her entire life in public service, she's one of the most brilliant stock traders of all time. I wonder why. Notably, Schultz is the only member of Congress known to have bought shares in New Gold. This lesser-known Canadian gold mining company typically attracts little constitution or political interest. So what's the drivers of this price rally? So that's probably $47,000 in gains from a trade as small as $15,000. That's pretty great. I mean, she did nothing. For over a year, she didn't report it. Under the Stock Act, members of Congress are supposed to disclose trades within 45 days, and she took 16 months. That's a straight up violation. That's the kind of thing that gets a usual person fined, fired, or even prosecuted if they had some insider info. The trade is likely to raise questions about how Schultz identified the opportunity, given the stock's sharp rise, partly buoyed by growing investor interest in precious metals, safe haven assets, including during heightened economic uncertainty and trade tensions. According to the intrigue, New Gold recently posted strong Q1 2025 results, meeting EPS estimates at 2 cents and reporting $208 in revenue above the expected $192.13 million. The company has also announced a $30 million exploration budget for 2025, reinforcing its growth ambitions. As of press time, NDG was trading at $4.91, representing a 150% increase over the past 24 hours. So this stock is doing fantastic. Is it possible that this person has some inside information? I don't know. The thing about stock trading is that you have to spend a lot of time researching on what's going on. Most people don't have that time. We all have jobs and stuff. Like most people, I think for the most part, either have someone doing it for them or they go in and invest in index funds. I don't have the time to spend buying individual stocks. So I like mutual funds. I invest a certain amount of money per month and I just don't mess with it. I don't think about it. I just kind of move on with my day. So when you see people like Nancy Pelosi, and obviously this person making so much money, having ridiculously crazy returns, you wonder how's that possible? Because they have insider knowledge. In fact, some of the policies steer themselves into investing in certain companies to make the most money. And we allow this. I don't know why. And the problem with this Congresswoman Schultz, she might get hit with a $200 fine, but that's like paying for a valet after robbing the parking lot. Let's be honest here, guys. This feels like insider trading. Why this exact stock? Why hide it? Why not tell us until after the stock skyrockets? These are really important questions. And before someone jumps in with, hey, you know what, maybe it's just luck. No, not when we see this pattern over and over again. We can talk about Nancy Pelosi again here. Her trades were so on point that Reddit and Twitter created entire trackers just to copy her portfolio. We're talking about a politician who was beating hedge funds. Let that sink in. The most powerful people, the most knowledgeable people that spend hundreds and hundreds of hours figuring out what's going on in the stock market, and she was beating them as a career politician. She wasn't Warren Buffett or Cathie Wood, and yet her returns have been better than most people who do this for a living. That's not just luck, that's access.
Insider just completed a 5-month investigation finding that 49 members of Congress and 182 senior congressional staffers have violated the Stock Act, the insider trading law. I'm wondering if you have any reaction to that, and secondly, should members of Congress and their spouses be banned from trading individual stocks while serving in Congress?
No, I don't know to the second one. We have a responsibility to report in the stock, on the stock, but I'm not familiar with that 5-month review, but if people aren't reporting, they should be. Because this is a free market and we're a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that.
So this is my personal opinion. For people like her, the people who decide to be in public service, to be public servants, if you work in public office, you should not be allowed to trade stocks, in my opinion. Not you, not your spouse, not your cousin's trust fund. It's public service, not a get-rich-quick scheme. Even if you say, you know what, maybe a blind trust may work, but even that needs stricter oversight. How is it that half of these folks come into Congress with normal salaries and leave worth millions of dollars? These are not business moguls. Most people don't even know how to run business. That's why the economy is where it is. You have a bunch of people who never ran a business having access to billions of dollars. Most of these politicians, they haven't built companies, they haven't sold a product, but when it comes to the stock market, they're somehow pulling off investment wins like they have a crystal ball. How? It's because they have insider access. Let's talk about that Investor Playbook. Congress member buys a stock. That industry gets a new regulation or a federal contract. The stock jumps. They either sell for a massive gain or wait and quietly file the disclosure after the damage or the gain was already done. We've seen this before. Richard Burr dumped hotel stocks after a classified COVID briefing. Dan Crenshaw made a lot of money trading energy stocks. Pelosi's husband made an option play that timed perfectly with legislation.
Over the course of your career, has your husband ever made a stock purchase or sale based on information he received from you?
No, absolutely not. Okay, thank you.
You don't need a tinfoil hat to see what's going on here. So let's go back to Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Even if this wasn't insider trading, it looks bad. It undermines a lot of trust. It tells the public, hey, we have rules, but not for us, but only for you. And that's pretty dangerous. Because if politicians can make tens of thousands of dollars off of info that we don't have access to and never face real punishment for bending the rules, then obviously we are in a rigged system. The system is not fair. They're cashing in while most of us Americans are struggling to pay rent or buy groceries. So that's the unfortunate cycle of the politics. You get elected, you make powerful connections, and you vote on laws that help certain industries, and you trade based on what you know is coming and retire filthy rich. So public service has turned into a Wall Street hustle. And the worst part of all of this is they can write laws that govern their own behavior so nothing happens. Debbie is just the latest example. Of course, she won't be the last. Until we demand real reform, until insider trading is treated like it is for everyone else, this stuff will continue to happen. But let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.